Well, good afternoon. Today is May 31st, 2019. Central Texas, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, breezy, cool, no sweat. And like I always say, why do you need glasses when you have a bottle? This video will probably run a lot longer because it deals with human abnormal psychology. Oh yeah, that's good. Wait a second. I think I might have to have me another pull on that one. The title of this video is Concrete Hillbillies, and you know who you are. You know, I should have read the label close. They were out of my regular wine. Actually, whatever I buy, everybody buys. It sells out. If I select a product or a wine, boom, it just sells out because I'm the label reading chemist in this area. And they were out of my preferred brand. They usually keep several cases on the shelf, and it was gone. I had to settle for a second one. I wish I'd read the label real closely because it's only 9% alcohol, which in France, that's technically beer. Geez, I could drink like 5 bottles of this stuff. Okay. Now, I'm going to reverse the camera slowly so I can talk to you. And hey, by the way, this flower here, YouTube, you can't get me on this one. This flower right here has been for centuries referred to as the nigger tit. It's a common flower name. Technically it's a yellow composite, but everybody that's been in America for at least 200 to 400 years call these nigger tits because what do they look like? See, what do they look like? Does that look like a nigger tit to you? Okay, fuck that shit. Okay. Now I want to start right here. And before I begin addressing the Concrete Hillbillies, who do nothing but consume my products, their beef comes from me, their asphalt, their it's all from me. What you're looking at right now is not even half of the 1.6 million pounds of hay, which will be 120 head of Angus cattle real soon. That's 120,000 pounds of beef for your table, and if this is one of the better years, we'll go 4 to 5 million pounds on my pasture. I produce the plastic that your entire life is made out of, that your cell phone, your TV is all made out of. Your whole life depends upon my production. And what I want to talk about here is these concrete hillbillies that, on the best end of it all, they've gone to college on their rich parents or off of the taxpayers' loans, and yet all they can think about is developing some new dating app and making $1 billion. Like there ain't already 18,000 dating apps out there. That's how smart you are. But what I really want to talk about is the fact that, actually I've had this agreement with my doctors for years, is that because I rarely have contact with society because it's really bad. Actually, this entire past month, every time I've run into some psycho, I've been threatened, had to call the cops. I had a hate crime committed on me on the first of the month. And shit like that, just endless fucking concrete hillbillies, you know. People that like come into my area from Houston or Austin or some other concreteville and think they're moving into some ideal small town that's actually been, a Thugville, forever. That's one of the reasons that, anyway, I'll get on with it. you know, I have an agreement with my doctor is that I do desensitization therapy. It started off with me studying the black supremacy movement, and then when I discovered this chat line that was full of the most toxic Yankees, Californicados, liars, maker up, just all nut checks, diaper wearing, incontinent, LGBTQI, Bernie Sanders worshiping losers and stuff. I still expose myself to them on a daily or every other day basis because, you see, anytime I go out in public, I get anti-Semitic behavior. They hate me just because I'm Jewish. Got the beard, got the skull cap, you already saw it. And these people all hate Jews, unless you're a fake Jew, fake gay Jew, who doesn't believe in God, fake Jew, atheist, homosexual, then they love you. Like you, Freddie. Keeps saying that I'm not. Fred actually said, and I quote, "I'm a Reformed Jew." No, you're not, Fred. You're the Jewish Reformation was in Poland in 1790, and even Reformed Jews are believe in God and are Orthodox. And you, Freddie, have no facial hair, no skull cap, and you wouldn't even know your way to the nearest temple. I know where the nearest temples are, and they're too damn far away. But I have all these totally illiterate people who can't even comprehend well, there's a few exceptions. Out of the hundreds of people that I've met on this chat line, there's about a half dozen that are decent human beings, and only a couple of them that have triple-digit IQs. One of them's 305, and I know that these people are half of my subscribers. They subscribe only so they can twist what I say and try to make these are all people who live in. They actually, I should back up here and say, look, YouTube, if you get any complaint against me, I want to remind you that I can prove to you that almost anybody complaining to you about me talking about this shit is a convicted child molester or sexual offender on the sexual offender registry. Most of these people, almost all these people, are convicted child molesters, sex offenders, drug addicts, mental check getting, welfare, some of them Canadian, loser moms, that's some of the newest. Every one of these people are losers. You can tell because whenever I call in, I might call it, they're there all day long. Even when they have children, they're ignoring their own children, just abandoning them in favor of the chat line where they can make up their stories and tell their lies and they can attack me. Let me tell you how stupid these people are. I know somebody is over there mowing something, but I can't tell what it is. Don't have a beautiful property. We got a little bit of rain and stuff like that. It's doesn't look green but from the other direction, when you look at it from this. Wait a second, I don't see my finger. When you look at it from the other direction, you can see that it's already green from just the quarter inch of rain the other night after bailing and stuff like that. Maybe I should start with the guy who actually thinks that he's beloved on there. There's a blind sexual offender. I'll just give his initials. PJR, who has claimed repeatedly, this is what losers, I'm going to talk about how people, pathological liars, even when you catch them and can prove it, they just keep on lying. I've had these people that claim that they called my sister And the sister they're referring to that you can find anywhere, she has for 35 years, even for her own children, screened all her phone calls. She's had a lot of mental problems, etc. She's the psycho bitch that arsoned my home, my original cabin. And I don't forgive her. And she's a horrible person that I caught molesting and abusing her own son, who admitted it to my mother, his grandmother, decades ago. He remembered those savage beatings, but these idiots claim to have called my sister when they don't even know her middle name, and my sister never answers the phone, even for her own children. Then the same registered sex offender claims he called I told him, call him. He's in the phone book, you know his name. But good luck with that, you loser, because his wife, you'll notice, answers that phone number in his name, and she screens all calls. I've called him on behalf of his own friends that he grew up with, his best buddies, and he never calls them back and stuff. He doesn't really talk to anybody. He's a miserable old fucker who's just sits in a room with his titanium shoulder and his quadruple bypass, and drinking and drugging is over for him, and out skanking is over for him, and the only thing he ever does is like join some Audubon group to go out bird watching. But that right there, if you tell me that you called and talked to my sister, I know you're lying because you can't get through to her. If you try to tell me that you called my brother Charles Andrew Kruger, that you've gotten through to him and he's spoken ill of me, he knows that I'm a telephone recording. He knows that's a setup for a slander suit, and he's got $10 million to protect the minimum. Not counting his wife's probably got 20 times that. Do you think he would actually try to slander me? See, that's how delusional these people are. Really, the majority of these people fall under the various diagnoses of schizophrenia. Some of these people have actually tracked down. There's this one guy that we call Kevin the Defecator, who actually does live in a 10 by 12 tool shed where I couldn't even stand up in the center of the peak of the roof. Who's, I believe what they say, he lives in a diaper and takes dope all day and drinks booze, and he's just the most vicious, evil person on there. And then let's get on to another one, because I've only got about a minute and a half left. These assholes, months ago, we got a document. We found a legal document that says that you're, it's an appeal to the blah, 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 and it says that you're not legally competent to stand trial, and you have HIV and AIDS and all this stuff. And you know what? Just a day or two ago, I looked it up. It took me less than 45 seconds to catch their errors. Number one, all legal court documents list your first name and last name, maybe middle name or middle initial. That's not my name. They actually know my true birth date because I've never hidden my true life story, birth date, or anything. And on page 2, in less than 45 seconds, I found their major error was that this guy, Kent Kruger, was adopted the year he was born in 1962. I was not born in 1962. I'm about to turn 65. Do the math, you freaking losers. I've only got a few of them to back off this. There's still one guy, actually, they've almost backed off completely because they tell each other that he's finally, So you can only keep that shit up so long. And that's what these people do. I just want to say that I hope I have the time here. I've been tracking this gang of pedophiles for years, and they go back over 3 decades. They're all pedophile, drug addict, perverts.